In the beginning, human existence was marked by absolute peace. Adam and Eve lacked nothing. Their physical needs were entirely provided for, and every day they walked and talked in uninterrupted fellowship with their Creator. The disruption of this state happened in the mind. The serpent offered a different prize, dealing strictly in the currency of thought. He presented them with an intellectual choice, the knowledge of good and evil. To know something in this context meant an intimate acquaintance. By accepting this knowledge, Adam and Eve reconfigured their internal operating system, weaving the reality of evil into their very thoughts and emotions. The psychological shift was instantaneous. When the Creator came to walk with them again, they didn't run to meet him. They hid. Their internal map had changed. The friend they once loved was now perceived as an enemy to fear. The fall resulted in a catastrophic psychological severance, alienating humanity from God within their own minds. We live with the symptoms of that rupture today. It manifests as a persistent dread, an instinct to hide from the divine, accompanied by the constant expectation of failure and destruction. This inherited mindset has passed through hundreds of generations. It leaves us navigating a world where we feel stranded and separated from our source. We attempt to bypass this alienation by construction. We invent self-made religions to bridge the gap, or try to resolve the tension by denying the Creator's existence entirely. But the mind, in its fallen state, is hostile to God's nature. It cannot submit to His way, nor find its own way back through intellectual effort. As long as the mind remains in this state of enmity, experiencing the peace and presence of God is impossible. 1400 years after the garden, a man named Enoch appeared. In a world increasingly defined by corruption, he existed as a distinct anomaly. Enoch broke the pattern of alienation. He walked with God so intimately that he bypassed death entirely, taken directly into the divine presence. The connection Enoch and later figures like Abraham shared was rooted in faith, the mental act of taking God at His word. This faith results in right standing, or righteousness. It is the restored psychological confidence to approach God without the barrier of fear or the feeling of being an outsider. Faith is the mind choosing to believe God's promises over the instinct to hide, re-establishing the bond that was severed in Eden. To anchor this hope in the human mind, God used the graphic, unchangeable terms of an ancient blood covenant. The sight of the sacrifice was meant to end all argument and doubt in Abraham's thinking. This rewired mind was tested on Mount Moriah, when God asked Abraham to offer up his only son, Isaac. Abraham believed that God would provide a substitute, and he was proven right at the exact location where the temple would eventually be built. By establishing and testing this covenant, God demonstrated that humanity could indeed regain right standing and safely re-enter His presence through a lineage of faith. This lineage led to Jesus, Yeshua, whose name declares that Jehovah is salvation. He arrived as the physical embodiment of God's presence on earth. For 3 years, people found immediate provision, healing, and peace simply by approaching Him. Their needs were met the moment they entered His presence in faith. The cross served as the final fulfillment of the blood covenant, dealing the decisive blow to the enmity of the human mind. This salvation restores the wholeness, safety, and abundance originally lost in Eden, providing help and deliverance in the here and now. By seeking God's kingdom and shifting our focus away from the world's anxieties, anyone can step beyond the veil of separation and live intimately in the Creator's presence today.